Hello, hello. Welcome on in, welcome on in. It is Thursday. We have a couple things. We have a couple things. It's the 18th, which means Ratatan released finally. Well, it's early access, so I don't know what we're doing with that. I don't know if it means like it's basically done and just being tested, if it's missing a lot of content. I don't know. But I did see that it had a lot of here, if I go through and look at it. They're talking about online co-op, which was interesting. So I was gonna see, I might pull in one or two people to just kind of like be part of the party that I know played a lot of Patapon back in the day. I'm not sure how much of this team was the original team, or if this is just like different people. I'm pretty sure it's some of the same ones, I think, but I don't remember honestly. Like it's some, but I don't know if it was like most of the team or just like a couple of people or what, but it will definitely have at least some of their hands on it, which is nice. Um it does feel like they put a lot into it, like art-wise and everything as well. So I'm just excited because I kind of miss this style of stuff. And then after that, we have Dying Light. Almost said Dying Light 2. 2 already came out. We have Dying Light The Beast. So a lot of people said they played and liked the first one a lot. I remember a lot of my friends playing it and being like, yeah, this shit's good. This shit's cash money. Second one came out. I feel like fewer people played the second one, but I didn't hear people trashing on it or anything like that. I think it just the first one was marketed better, honestly. Now they have this one that is coming out today. And it again is very, looks like it very much is focused with co-op, which is nice. I'm gonna go beast mode. I'm gonna go beast mode. What's the thing is like in this one you've got, I'm not sure, from like the tiny bit that I read, it, because I'm trying to not like spoil myself, like I want to play the game without knowing everything's gonna be in it, but it sounds like the main character has like zombie DNA in him, and so he like it looks like there are two play styles where you go through and you play like a normal human, but then you also kind of go like rip and tear mode, and like your zombie DNA kind of pops off, and you go like full gore, you know. so so it seems like this one is like they just wanted to like be able to go gory, you know. It's a zombie game, and they're trying to figure out how to do that. So it looks like this one, yeah, they just wanted you to be able to like tear them apart with your hands and stuff, and this was their answer to let that happen, which I think is fun. Inherently, like a lot of zombie games that I don't like are like those really slow ones. They're gory in that the zombies eat people, but you don't get to like kill them like in crazy ways. You know what I mean? But Dying Light, it looks like this one they really wanted you to be able to like fucking get them, you know? They want you to fucking get them. So to me that is inherently fun. But yeah. So, exciting because you know me, like I want games to have fun movement. That is just the thing I like the most. So if they're promising me that and I can rip and tear with my hands, I mean, I like that. So remember when 2 came out? It advertised like 50 to 120 hours of gameplay, which at the time was a big complaint of games too big in 2022. Yeah. Yeah, imagine. I look back and some of the stuff that people complain about when certain games are released, I'm like, man, what are people on? Sometimes I was part of certain things and I'm like, why did I care about this, you know? But nah, games too big is like, I think it's only a problem if you're like a streamer. And you have to get through it content-wise in front of people or whatever. I think as a normal person, games being big is great because I would much rather get 100 hours out of a game I spent $60, $70 on than get 30, you know? And yeah, if it's the best 30 hours ever, that's cool, but usually it's not, so. But we'll see how we like both of them. I want to try them both out today. I think I'll do Rataton first today, and then we'll go into Dying Light. Unless someone who's playing it already, like a friend of mine is like, yo, you want to group up, then maybe I'll swap it. But unless that happens, which I doubt, I think everyone's just kind of soloing it at first, you know. You thought Mafia the Old Country was the perfect length for a single player campaign? Honestly, yeah. But the thing is, it was perfect because it was cinematic. And it was less about the gameplay. The gameplay was just you getting through the movie of the game, right? If it was more about the gameplay, then I would want more hours out of it, but it's not the point of that, so that's why I didn't mind it at all. I liked it. I really, really, really loved it, actually. The first game is still my favorite, I think, but The Old Country was really, really, really good. I liked the story. I liked the characters. I was sitting there crashing out at the main character's decisions, which, you know, is how you know it's well written. Because you're sitting there and you're like, no! Like, like getting upset at the screen, you know? So, it was good. It was good. Wrong one. That one. But yeah. So, I'm excited. I do want to get back to... I still really want to get back to Snake Eater. Snake Eater Delta. We'll still go back to it. But for now, we got shit we gotta get through that is time sensitive, so, you know. New releases, etc., etc. Any ideas what happened with OBS? Yeah, I already talked about it. We know what happened. It just pulls the wrong files all the time. Because OBS sucks. Unfortunately. Did that with the first Kingdom Come Deliverance, but only because they promised large-scale battle. I kind of want to, like, go back and play 2, like, fresh at some point. I kind of want to do it. Born to Wander. Hey, thank you for the 10 gifted. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. We'll see if we get a golden Kappa again today. We've gotten like 3 in the past week for whatever reason. Which is cool. I don't know why though. I don't know why. That's a little... It's a lot. It's a lot. You're playing Kingdom Come 2... Actually, yeah, I really liked it, and I put it down because I was like, I love this game. I want to play it when I feel like I have time to sit down and play it all in one go. Right? Like, I really, really, really want that. I really want that. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. At some point, I'll go back to it when I feel like there's, like, a lull in games. I want to do that. I want to do Red Dead 2, and I want to finish Delta. I have those, and I feel like all of those are things that I can go back and do anytime. I don't have to do them, you know, quickly or whatever. I just, when I feel like there isn't anything else, I can just pull those out and be fine. Red Dead 2's peak. It is, I worry that it's so many hours. It's a lot of hours to stream something, you know? So I want to do it, but I just hope people stick with it, because sometimes when I play a game on stream after the 50th hour of it, 30th hour, honestly, People get really tired. They get really, really, really tired. And they're like, oh, play something new, you know? But then when you don't finish it, then people complain. They're like, you don't finish games. So, like, you know, you're always dealing with half of the people complaining no matter what you do. But you weren't a big fan of narrative-focused games? Completely untrue. I love them. I'm just picky. I really, really, really do like when it's like cinematic, it's storyline heavy, narrative focused, all of that. It's just that I'm a big reader. I read a lot. And a lot of game writing I don't really like that much, you know, here and there. So it's like I often like the concepts, just when the writing's bad, it like distracts me from whether or not I even like the story. I just can't, you know. You don't want to be like Zen and never finish games. Yeah, because then I get fuck-ass chatters saying shit like that in my friends' chats. You don't want to be like this person, you know? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Jesus Christ. You never finish games. My God. Did you play Kingdom Come 2 before it got all of its DLC? Yeah, I didn't even play through all of it. I played through a bit of it. Put it down because it ran like shit on my computer. It ran like shit. So, honestly, it was fine when I wasn't streaming it. So I played some off stream and I was really liking it, but I stopped because I was like, I really should do this on stream because it's a great game. It's really funny. I should do this on stream. And I should do it all in one go. And I wanted to wait sometime after, like, that release period. And when enough time passes that we feel like we can revisit it and not be, like, bored. So. We'll get there. The you don't finish games people can be safely ignored as they should be doing their homework anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You know who says that too about me liking or not liking narrative focused games? Joel like doesn't shut up about it and I want to kill him. He just I love narrative focused games and I love arcadey stuff. I love it all, right? I'll go play a game with him and he'll just say, like, to his chat, he'll be like, she only likes arcadey games. She hates story. And I'm like, what? Where are you from? What? Who are you? This is like one of my closest friends, you know? I'm like, what are you saying? And he's like, I don't know. Every time you recommend me games, it's arcadey. And I'm like, because like there are a lot of really good ones that have come out and they're like $5. Yeah. Do I need to like recommend someone play Blueprints? Everyone already knows about it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what are you saying? He's watching with his eyes closed and his ears shoved with cotton. Absolutely filled with cotton balls. That shit's so funny. Remember when he popped into chat during Mafia, said something along those lines and you yelled at him? I literally did a whole marathon of every Mafia game and I'm like, what? What? Hate this dude. So stupid. The same Joel who doesn't like steak. Exactly. We don't want to go there, you know? He's stuck on Blueprints. He's still playing Blueprints. I was trying to tell him, I don't know what you guys prefer, like this community right here, right now, the people who are here right now. Do you prefer when a streamer has a game that they're playing and they play just that every day until they get through it? So they're through it in like a week or two? Or do you prefer when people like cycle games in and out? So realistically, they're on the same couple of games for a long time, right? But it's the same number of hours. It's just like they play this one game once or twice a week. Do you prefer the cycle, or do you prefer like sitting down and just getting through it? Hop out, enter, depends. Yeah, but then like what do you prefer they sit down and get through? Depends. Okay, depends on what? Hi, Heavenly. Seems like a mix. Said like in a given week, maybe like 3 days main, 1 day variety. A lot of people saying they like the cycle more so because of like spoilers, or so they can keep up with it. Yeah, I get that. I try to think about that balance all the time. Like, because the thing is, if you play, let's say I'm trying to get through Red Dead 2, Metal Gear Solid Delta, I have 1 day for like one-offs, and then I stream 4 days a week on main, right? So like, then what do? I do like 2 days a week Red Dead, 1 day Metal Gear, and then 1 day something else. If I do that, and I'm realistically getting through on those 2 days of Red Dead, I would get through maybe 10 hours at most of it in a week. It would take me months to get through the game. You know, like I would be streaming the game for like 2 months. You know what I mean? So that's the problem, which is like it certain games you could do that because you're like, oh, I'll be done with this in 2 weeks. You know, it's like a 40-hour game, right? 30-hour game. Like it'll be fine. I can make it work. I'll play like 3 days a week this one week, and then 1, and then 2, and it's fine. It's done after that. Like 6 streams max or whatever, right? But then there are other games where it's like, it takes so many streams to get through it that you end up like, you know, taking months. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to decide. You think going all in on one game for an arc is a good way to cull the community periodically? It legitimately is. It's number 1 that, but number 2, I think it's actually the opposite. It's a chance for people that are there for the game and not you, like new people, to sit there and get solidified into the community, right? Because think of it like this: when people like discover your channel, they're discovering it for the first time usually because you're just in a game category, right? If you're just talking about Twitch viewers that are not coming from someone else's stream, like a friend's stream or something, they're just like finding you because you're playing a new thing that released. They're there because of the game. And then if the next day and the day after that you're not playing that game, those people will never stay. They will never stay because they only watched you once. They don't care, you know? But if you sit there and then you play like that thing for that week, a lot of those people do end up staying, and then they're like, oh, I actually like it here though. And then they like hang out more after that, right? So it's just like, you know, it's an interesting thing to consider. I don't know. Yeah, you said right now you're overwatching Silk Song. Yeah, that's why I was okay putting it down. I do want to pick it back up, but I was like, man, love this game, really fun, enjoying it, but like, I was getting fatigued by everyone else playing it, and I wasn't even like finishing it yet, you know? Like I was just there for like a day. So I was like, Jesus, I need to put this down and then come back to it, you know? I don't know. I think for me, as I'm spending like more time being a streamer, right, and like more and more years in, I think I actually prefer binging games and doing like 3 days a week toward the thing I'm trying to get through, and then like 1 day of just something else. Maybe 2, maybe 50-50, depending on how long the game is. Like if it's not too long, you can spread out a little more. I think I prefer that now. Gains for everything of the raid. But I over time, I've just been like, yeah, I think I like binging these games, because otherwise, like, I don't know. The other thing is, like, for me, my brain is so unreliable in, like, remembering shit about these games I'm playing. So if I play something on Monday, and then I don't play it again until the next Monday, I have to remember what the controls even were like. Okay, that's number 1. I have to like get a feel for playing it again. In general, you like lose your ability to play it well because you just spent a week not playing it. I don't remember what's happening in the story, right? Like there's a lot that just you lose, right? Yeah, momentum. So I've noticed this over time. I'm like, I think I get through games faster. Like it takes me fewer hours to get through them if I play them more so in a row, a little more often. Because I feel like I'm like getting lost or relearning and recapping if I space it out. So there's that to consider too, you know? I don't know. So I think it's got to be like 50-50, like 50% stuff I'm continuing, and then 50% other shit. You know, if I've got like an ongoing playthrough going on or something. I don't know. It's more from bouncing between so many games than anything. Well, yeah, but like I'm gonna stream something. So it doesn't matter what it's from. The answer is, you know, you just have to do it more. More often, right? So, I don't know. It's interesting to think about for me. 3 days does feel compact enough to fit within the cycle idea indeed. Yeah, and I can do like, you know, I stream like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, right? So I have Sunday, Monday, and then I have a space, and then I have Wednesday, Thursday, and then a space. So it gives me the ability to have like a pretty evenly spaced out, like one day is the main thing we're getting through, and then the day right after that is something else. And then there's a little space, and then back to the thing we're getting through, and then some variety thing, right? It's like spaced out in a way where I can do that really easily, but you know. Also use your alt channel if it's a very grindy game. Yeah, for sure. Well, I just grind off stream entirely. I don't always like stream grinding. Because of the hours I'm on the alt channel, it makes sense for me to like be on GTA for those. And then it depends. There are things that I've done, like when I was like continuing some of the grindy parts of Blueprints, I just did it over there for a bit, you know. But honestly, a lot of the time when I'm playing the grindy bits of games, I'm sitting, I don't want to spend more time glued to my computer, so I take my Steam Deck, if I can, depending on the game, if I can. I take my Steam Deck and I go sit somewhere else, you know? to put those hours into whatever grindy bit I have to, but to like, I'll literally stand up and physically walk around and things, you know, get rid of my blood clots in my legs from being a gamer and shit. So I try to like, you know, exist normally as a person because it's better for me. I try as best as I can. I don't know. So it's, you know, simply stream 7 days a week. Yeah, no. No. I always did 4 days a week on my main channel. And then I started up the alt channel, but that is just like my day off game time that I am now streaming instead of not, right? And then all time outside of that is like working typically. And then if I'm done with working at the end of the day, then I'll play more games or something. But I don't know. I feel like I've thought about that, of like adding stream days in the week. And I feel like I think I would burn myself out, honestly. I think I would, because I do so many things outside of what I do on my main channel, right? Outside of what I do here. And I'd probably just die. It's also not good for me vocally. When I'm on like my alt channel, the way I'm speaking is a lot lower, a lot easier. And that's just me naturally doing that. I'm not like trying to, it just happens. And I find that's better. Anytime I've streamed a lot of days in a row, normally, vocally I just can't handle it. It's just bad for me. Really bad. So, trying to not die. So I know like being on the alt channel, some people will like be like, oh, but you're streaming is like basically work, but it's not. It's literally not. I'm just chilling. So I don't feel the same way about it. What the hell is this song? What is this? Oh, this one. Okay. Alt is so chill. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I've done alt channel streams where I just haven't spoken at all. I just screen shared a game, you know, especially when I was like sick. I would just like play something and screen share it, right? But like mic off, not saying a word. So that's really like, it's there for that. I don't care about anything else. It's not there for like being a work day, you know? And I could do the day that I don't stream on either channel. I could add that to main channel, but then I don't have any time ever like to have an entire day to go out and exist in the world, so that's bad. bad. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I don't know. I'll figure it out, man. I'll figure it out. Stackland's greatest alt stream. I still play it sometimes. I still open Stacklands occasionally and I just start going hard to the cards, man. They had one called Clicky Land. I don't know if you know that the studio, Sock Pop, they put out small games constantly. Like their goal is to make 100 games. That's their whole thing. That's it. They got Simuland, they got Stacklands. They got a whole lot of stuff, and they have like little seasons. They're I wanted to play. They have Grund, which is like a weird gardening game. They have Bachelors. I kind of want to play that one. Frog's Adventure. A lot of when I look at their website, I'm looking at their website right now. The art style is really funny of like a lot of their games. I'll show you the art for Frog's Adventure. Look at how good this looks. The entire game is hand-drawn like this. Look at that. I really want to play that. I want to play that so bad. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool shit that they've made. So one day I wanted to just go through and do like, not like all of their games. I don't know if I had half the time, but I want to go through a ton of theirs. Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. What would you say? He says, is this a more recent thing, or maybe it's an idle thing? Ever since I've gotten into VTuber content, I've noticed a lot of it heavily revolves around relationships and communities between creators. Almost feels like following a sitcom IRL. It's just the case of any community that has like intertwined communities. On Twitch, a lot of streamers are on their own little island. And they have 2 or 3 other streamer friends that you might know. But typically, they are a streamer, their viewers watch them, and that's it. They're not concerned with what other people are doing too much. And then some of them have like groups of friends, right? So AMP, OTV, OTK, these types of groups exist. Some of them don't have labels like that. They're not in an official group, but they are definitely a bunch of creators in a circle, and they have that effect. VTubing is like that, but it's wider. Because everyone decided they had to know each other and be concerned about each other because they were VTubers, right? Instead of it being like organically socially building, everyone kind of stepped into the community being like, I'm part of the VTuber community, which is real and isn't real. Like in 2020, that was a real thing. You'd be like, oh, I'm part of the VTuber community. And there was like a handful of VTubers and a handful of viewers, and everyone knew each other. So it was just like those other small communities between other creators, right? And then that evolved, and now we're saturated. We're flooded with a bajillion VTubers and a bajillion viewers that came in. And they all wanted to be part of that same community. They all kind of like walked in and were like, us too. So it went from a circle of people that all did know each other to now this like enormous blob. So it's not the same as like those other communities where everyone really does know each other because it's too big for that. It's just scaled up so much. But people still try to like treat it like it's that, right? So like people follow the same cultural things. Everyone puts VT at the end of their name and shit. You know, like there are all these little things that they all do that kind of like are reminiscent of each other. Not a good or bad thing or anything either way. It's just like how it is, right? But I think it's cool. I think it's cool, but I think it makes people too focus on stuff. Like I hear a lot of people being like, I want to watch more VTubers, but there are too many to watch. I'm so overwhelmed. And I'm like, why do you want to watch more? You have a few that you like watching. Just watch the streams you like, right? Like, you know, like I'm like, what do you mean? But it's because they like culturally you get pushed to feel like you got to do that or something. Or if you like don't know who a VTuber is, yeah, there's FOMO. People will be like, you don't know this one, and you're like, oh, and now you go looking them up just because of FOMO, like not because you need more right? Like, you don't need any more to watch. But yeah, I find the FOMO culture is like really strong in it. And I don't know, I feel like it ruins people's experience a little bit because like you're better off just spending time where you want to be, you know? Just do what you want to do with your time. You know? That's all you gotta do. I don't know. But yeah, I think everything's kind of like breaking up into smaller communities within the bigger one that are still really large communities. And I think that's important. I think that's important. That's why, like, honestly, that's why I really liked being like with VShojo and stuff, right? Is like I can hone in and focus on something specific. I liked being in the GTA community because again, that's like a smaller set, a definitive number of people, right? I have my own friends outside of things. I know a lot of different people, but I tend to like step into other communities here and there, but like I'm still just focused on like my same couple of friends, you know, for the most part. So, I don't know. I think it's fine to watch a lot of people. It's just like if it's to the point where you get stressed because you want to watch more, like just take a step back, you know, and think about like, is this FOMO? Is this FOMO? Like, what am I looking for? You know? Am I satisfied with what I have and I just think it'd be nice to watch more? Or am I unsatisfied and actually should change something up, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Ren. I agree. Choice paralysis. That too, because I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of people are great. A lot of people are really great. And a lot of people are making great content and everything. So it's like, it's not like we're ever lacking good content out there. It's not like we're ever lacking good streams to watch. Like, there's always so much, you know? So there's definitely, like, the more you know about, the more, you know, you're faced with, like, oh, God, how do I choose? You know? It's definitely like that. You said it was less FOMO, more just unfulfillment with all the niche references based on the community. Yeah, that's the thing. It's fun, but I think it's limiting. Like when people are always talking about memes between communities and you feel like you're talking about stuff that's like 10 layers deep on the iceberg chart for that community, that could be fun, but I think when you do that with like VTubing, right, like overall VTuber community memes and fandom and all of that, you end up making your stream a place where when people who aren't really in the know on a lot of stuff show up, they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. You know? They're like, I don't know what any of this is. I feel different from these people, and it feels like unwelcoming in my opinion. You know? So I've had a few people like comment almost, I don't think they mean it in a bad way, but almost negatively, being like, oh, you know, you're just like basically a normal streamer with an avatar. You don't really like do that much like VTuber stuff. And what they mean is like I'm not like deeply entrenched in all the memes and whatever's going on, or like someone will be like, oh, this VTuber did this, and I'm like, did they? Like, I don't know, you know. And I've had a few like comments here and there on that, and I'm like, maybe that's a good thing. You know? Yeah, like you said, Blazing Right. You've said you bounced off of communities where you felt like you couldn't chat because everything was a reference. Yeah, it's too much. It's overwhelming. And then if a normal person walks in and is just like, hey, what's going on? It's not like these people can't understand these memes. It's just so many layers deep that like if you haven't been there for the past 5 weeks, you have no clue what's going on, right? I feel like it's too much. It's too much. I get overwhelmed even because like, especially when I was like playing a lot of GTA, right? I'm still talking to my friends, still watching people's streams here and there, but I wasn't getting like emotionally invested in like all these little things that people are doing, right? I was very much just like on the server. So then someone would talk about something someone else was doing, and I'd be like, oh, I didn't see that. What's going on with that? And people would be like, you haven't heard? And like the amount of like weird FOMO moments that came up, I was like, do I have to know? Like, is it a bad thing that I don't? I'm just like, I don't think this matters. I just, you know? It was rough. It was rough. And then it made some people thought like I didn't like it anymore. Like I didn't like anything else, and I was like, that's not, no, what? just I just don't have 200 hours a day. You know? You don't know what TSKR means? Tuskut. It's, I mean, not a big deal. You don't need to know. Doesn't matter. It's a funny thing to use, but it's not important. It's not important. Yeah, you go. Yep, yep. I think that was also fueled by like some of my streamer friends talking about me as if I like didn't exist anymore, like I died. But then literally what happened was I started playing GTA, and people stopped inviting me to stuff because they thought I wouldn't want to play it. Nothing changed from my end. It's like, imagine if your friend plays a lot of League. You're not going to be like, now I can't invite them to anything else. Because clearly they only want to play League. You never talked to them about it. You never asked. You know what I mean? Like, but people kind of like assumed that. So I got invited to a lot less shit. You know? And I still invited other people to things, and we still did stuff. I still went on other people's streams quite a lot, actually. I was still collabing with them all the time in other games. But if it wasn't on my own channel, you know, people were like, wow, it must not be happening. And then, and yeah, and so, like, people treated me like I died. Even though they never, like, asked me to do anything. And then someone in their chat would mention me, and they'd be like, oh, I haven't seen her forever. She's always playing GTA. And I'd be like, you stopped messaging me. Not in a bad way. It doesn't mean that I don't think they meant it or anything like that, you know? Like, it didn't make me feel bad. I was just like, you can't you can't complain about anything if you didn't even like message me. You know? It was just funny. So if I knew someone who does GTA RP and saw them on GTA on stream or whatever, I'd probably think that, oh, they're busy. Yeah, while streaming, maybe. Thing is, I was still streaming. I didn't have the alt channel at the time. I was streaming 4 days a week like I always did. I still had 3 days a week plus all the early and late times that I would always do collabs with people still available. Like, that didn't change. And my default was like, if I was gaming off stream and you know, no one asked me to do anything, yeah, I'd probably be on there grinding on the server. But I always had my Steam showing me as offline, so it's not like people even saw me on there. You know what I mean? So it's one of those scenarios where when someone would be like, I don't think she wants to, I'd be like, all right, buddy. You didn't message me. And it was funny because one of my friends like made a comment like that to me, and I was like, you know, you can invite me to shit. Like, literally nothing has changed in my life. It's just what I do on stream. And like, most of my collabs that I did were not on my own stream anyway. So I was like, nothing matters. And they were like, you know, why did I think that? they were like, why did I stop inviting you to stuff? I was like, I don't know. You can. I'll always say yeah. And they were like, oh, okay. And then we just started playing a bunch of games together at night, you know? It was really funny having that conversation with her. She was like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, I don't think anyone does. It was funny. It was really funny. I don't know, man. I felt for the K-baby. For sure. You know what it is? Yeah, when I was going to say something on that, Ren. I think this is something I notice with people. So I'm really social, right? GTA aside, in general, I always have like a lot of different friend groups that I dip into here and there. I'm just really social. I know a lot of people, and I'm very comfortable hanging out with new groups at any point in time. Right? If it's like 8 friends have known each other for 10 years and then they just invite me to a thing, I'll be like, okay, yeah, and I won't feel awkward. I won't feel left out, right? I'll just be like, okay, me too. So because of this, I bounce around between a lot of different groups. When someone invites me to something, I just hop in and I'm having a great time. And I've always found that my more introverted friends will see, not just me, but people like me do that. And when they see you hang out with a different group of friends, they get awkward, and they're like, maybe I'll ask them to do less stuff. They seem so busy with that other group of people. Like, if you don't main them, if that makes sense. If you don't like main them and message them more than everyone else, like message them a ton, they like think that they're not your main, therefore they just stop asking you to do shit. And it's not even like they feel horrifically bad about it. They just naturally do that, you know? So it's like just a disconnect between people like that and the people like me where I'm just like, I love everyone, you know? Like all different people invite me to stuff and I'm like, haha, yay. And I'm just like, you know, frolicking everywhere. Like I just love that shit. So I'm never like consciously being like, oh, this is my main group of friends or that's my main group of friends or blah, blah, blah. I don't think about stuff like that. I just hang out with, you know, if these people invite me and I have time and I enjoy them, okay, let's go, right? I'm very much like that. But yeah, I've noticed a lot of my like more introverted friends have like a hard time. Like you have to like go to them and be like, I'm reminding you that I enjoy you a lot. And then they'll be like, oh, that's right. Okay, thank God. I will now invite you to something. Right? You have to like actively nurture these people or they'll like crumble away from you socially. And they never do it purposefully. They never mean it like that. And usually it's as simple as like you just go to them and be like, we haven't done anything in a while, you know, which is what I usually do. I kind of cycle around to people if I haven't seen them in a bit and be like, hey, what's going on, you know? But it's just funny. I feel like through streaming I've really seen a lot of it. But it's not just streaming, like people just do this in real life all the time, right? So I wish I'm extroverted like that, just be a chill dude with everyone. Yeah, and the thing is, like, I don't even consider myself an extrovert. I know it like sounds like it. I instead choose to say I'm really social because my social battery gets really worn down, you know, and I really need like many hours in the day to just sit there and vegetate and not talk to anyone to feel comfortable. But I'm also social. I'm both, right? So me when a friend messages me unprompted and it fixes me mentally for a fiscal quarter. Yeah, it's me. I'm that friend to everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Is it called outrovert? Like otro, like other. I think they call it ambivert, but I think none of those definitions are real. I don't think those definitions are real. I think those are fake. You know, I love talking about MBTI because it's fun, but it's like it's basically a horoscope. It's not real. You know. Instead, it's just how socially active are you? And then how much time do you need to be alone as well? Right? Like all these different things are just like preference. It's not, you know, it's not a category so much. You still put people in buckets a little bit, but, you know, it ain't real. It ain't real. Omnivert, you love talking to plants and animals. Yeah, I think like at the end of the day, I know who I am, and it's I go to a party and there's a dog at the party, and I sit down next to the dog and I don't move from the dog. And then when I have to leave the house at the end of the night, I'm like, he needs me, and I like look back at the dog 10 times as I'm leaving, you know, and then I'm like, wow, I didn't talk to anyone much, did I? So, you know, I know what I am. I hate people. Streaming makes a lot of people turn into social butterflies. Yeah, you know, before streaming, I always had groups of friends. I never really would go out and actively seek new friends, though. I was fine if I had 2 friends. I was fine if I had 20 friends. I really didn't care. And I would spend long periods of time alone, not talking to anybody, and I'd have a great time. I'd just play video games and chill, you know? And then streaming, now there are all these people available to me, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll hang out with them, right? Like, it's just... I think I'm just neutral. I'm neutral to all of it. Not me. I'm chill, and whatever's in front of me is what I'm doing. If I'm placed into a scenario where there are a lot of people around and I could hang out with all of them, I'll start hanging out with all of them. If there's no one around, I'll just be like, all right, hell yeah, I love alone time. And I just sit around alone, you know? You know what I mean? Just floating through life, man. You said you got suckered into K-pop groups recently, and man, they're so ingrained in MBTI. Dude, it's so annoying. Every Korean friend of mine is like obsessed with it. I know some people have gotten MBTI tattoos where it says like ENTP on their arm or whatever the fuck. Yeah, no, it's like the same way they do the blood type horoscope shit where they believe that if certain blood types dictate like how you are, right? So I'm blood type AB, and they'd always be like, that means you're quirky. That means you're a very quirky person. You're very odd. And I was like, it's my blood type. They'd be like, I would have thought you were blood type B, actually. Right? Like, that's a big thing in Asia in general. Yeah, no, Korea started in the same way attaching to MBTI now. And they talk about it constantly, and it's so annoying. Because whenever I like reconnect with these friends, they're like, what's your MBTI? And I'm like, stop. I don't want to talk to you about this. I don't know. I don't even hate talking about it. It's just like the amount that they ask about it, you know? It gets like crazy. It gets insane. What did you say, Garrick? You said, I'm completely non-verbal off stream sometimes and do nothing, yet I was voted most friendly in high school. Yeah. I'm like that, man. Dude, if there's nothing happening, there's no one around, I will lay down and stare at the ceiling for 3 hours. I don't know. That shit's crazy. I don't know, man. Your MBTI changes on your mood. Yeah, like when I take, I don't know, if I take the little quiz, I feel like I get the same, like, 2 things every time. I don't really have too much fluctuation, but I don't know. Nonverbals hit hard. I concentrate best when I'm not talking. So this is my biggest gripe with streaming for myself is I can't lock in unless I'm not talking. And I have to be not talking for a while. So inherently when I play games and I'm talking, I will always play 1,000 times worse. 1,000 times worse. And I just, at this point, I've learned, like, I don't care anymore. I'll just keep talking because I'm here to hang out and talk. I'm not here to, like, be like, here's my best run in this game. You know? I'm, like, not there for that. You know? I just can't do it. We noticed during Mario Kart. Oh, I'm sure. I just cannot do it. I cannot do it. When your gaming silence is so funny. I just, like, don't. Unless I'm alone. But if I'm on stream, I don't stop talking while gaming very much. And, like, I watch other friends stream. Especially my friends that are, like, those old guard streamers. And they just don't talk. They only talk about the game that's in front of them, or they don't talk, or a little bit of both. Right? You know who I was talking to about this? I was talking to Mike about this. Mike is one of those streamers that talks about whatever the fuck on the side. He's, like, rarely talking about the game that much, right? He's just having conversations while he's playing a game. And then we were both talking about this, and we were, like, talking about some of our friends that stream, that they play a game, and they only talk about the game. They only react to the game. They're, like, stream of consciousness streamers, right? Where they're like, oh, I wonder what this is. Let me pick this up. You think I can put this here? Blah, 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 right? And they don't bounce around between, like, telling stories or whatever. They only do that. And we were both, like, talking about it. We were like, isn't that crazy? Like, because Mike talks about, like, never the game, right? He's always, like, just having a side conversation. And then we have, like, other friends that only talk about the game. And they don't talk about, like, anything else when they're streaming games, typically. And then you have, like, people like me where I bounce between both. I'll go on a tangent, and then I'll go back to talking about the game. And I was like, that's really... interesting because I feel like if you're one of those and then you suddenly swap to being another, like so many people will be like, "Are you okay? What's wrong with you? What happened?" You know? So like, I don't know. Like I always wonder. Like I feel this way especially when I watch Moon. When I watch Moon and he's just commenting on the game and he's also just like not talking a lot of the time. He like makes little quips, but he's not having like a big conversation, right? Because he's just gaming. I look at that and I'm like, I think if I did that, everyone would be like, I'm leaving. You know, like I just don't think like people would stay. They'd be like, I don't know who this is anymore. Limes is master of doing both. She really just talking only stream shows as a game on deck. Limes is one of the stream of consciousness people a lot of the time, and then she does like tangentialize as well, right? Like kind of similar to me, where she'll like stop and talk about another thing, but a lot of her gaming is she's talking about the game, she's focused on that, right? And then her chat gets focused on that too. It's interesting. You need to say stream of chatters calling you bald and typing taunted. You know what it is? My chat's really not spammy. And the thing is, especially if I'm gaming, it's different if we're having a conversation, people are typing longer messages and we're trying to like read them. But if we're gaming, please be spammy. Like it's fine, you know? We're being reactionary. Like I enjoy that. But I think people are used to the chatting portions not being like it, you know? The fact you actually read them makes us less spammy. That too, right? That too. I don't know. I feel like if I'm gaming, then go crazy with it, right? But then if we're having like a big conversation about a thing, it makes sense to be less spammy. It doesn't mean that I hate spam. And I think they've taken a couple times where I've called out people for like spamming shit when we're talking about something more serious, or not even serious, but you know, we're having like a big, deeper conversation. I think people took that as, oh, I can never spam. Like I can never just reply with emotes, or I'll be like, or I'll seem brain dead in her chat. How could I? I don't even know what they think, you know, but I think that's like sort of what it is. My guess, at least. I don't know. That's what it seems to be. I don't know, though. No one's getting squashed. I think whenever I flame someone for a thing, people think that means they can never, ever, ever do that thing. When usually it's like the way they did it. You know? I think they're really afraid. I think they're really, really afraid. Because the thing is, I'll see them acting really differently in other chats too, the code switch. I don't know, man. You don't have the youthful enthusiasm required for spamming. You don't need youthful enthusiasm. It's more like sneaking behind an NPC. NPC turns around. You type all caps caught. Right? Easy. Not really anything crazy. That kind of stuff. Yep. You just think emotes are fun. I mean, it's easier, like, when you have a bigger chat, it's better to have people just use emotes more than to, like, type out full sentences when you're gaming, because it's not like you can turn and read so much of what people are saying. You're looking at a different monitor entirely, you know? And then just, like, you're occasionally glancing over. So if you glance over and you see a lot of emotes, you're like, ah, this is the generalized emotion going on right now. Cool. Whereas if you're playing a game and then you turn and there are a bunch of essays, like, pick one, skim it, and that's it. You know, that's all you get out of it. So that's why, like, the hive mind isn't bad, especially when gaming, right? Like all of that, like, it's not a negative thing. Exactly. I mean, that is why TTS is good, right? Because then I don't have to, like, rip my eyes away from the screen if there's something you, like, really want me to hear, you know? For sure. Any more wide emotes? We got plenty, but we could get more. We could get more. Well, frog wide is unmatched. We do have wide cinema, don't we? Or cinema wide, rather. Like that one. It's a really good one. It was really good. I don't know, maybe I should give you guys more bald emotes. Maybe we need that. So you can call me bald, because I'm a 50-year-old bald ma'am, IRL. I think we need it. Right? Those legs in the air? What do you think? What do you think? Bald gang, bald gang. Eric, do you have any cursed emotes? You have anything that, like, we really need here? What'd you say, Blazing? Said Lamau bald, ha. I felt dirty typing that. Ooh. Ooh. It's okay to be bad. It's okay. Miss Fred's tea I will throw. Hi, Miss Fred. Oh, Miss Fred. Come back, Fred. Well, he's not dead, but, you know. He's just doing YouTube. Come back, Fred. Come back. Like made emos or BTTV? Like 7TV, BTTV kind of stuff. Got any fresh new bangers hot off the press? Miss Fred's gay little moose. Yeah, me too, me too. He's still around though. He's still around. He still exists. You'll see him in collabs and stuff. I was thinking of inviting him to something soon. I was messaging him recently. We got shit. Planned. Let's see if Felix getting beated again today. No. We have other stuff we're doing. It's in the title. You would see it if you scrolled down and you read the title. It's there. It's there indeed. Garrick's best emotes are proprietary. Yeah, I'm like for Garrick. I agree. Ratatan is out. Ooh, Garrick didn't read the title. I see you didn't read the title. Yes, Ratatan is out. Though, it's early access, and I don't know what that means in this context, because every game's early access is different. So, it could be like, it's basically the whole game, and we're just testing shit. We're stress testing. It could be something like, hey, this is only like the first third of the game. I don't know. So, we're gonna play it. Actually, we could open it like right now. We're gonna play it, and we're gonna see what happens. See what goes on. See what happens. But I want to open it. I'll open it right now. Hold on, let me make sure I have it all set up. Oh, it's mostly a controller game. Make sure we are plugged in. Oh, we are. We're good. We're good.